Okay, here is my Mongoose XR Pro 29-inch up front rim wheel, 26-inch in the rear with a 1500 watt hub drive. You see the hub drive right there. Got the controller here in this bag. That's a D&M air shock that I switched out. And here's the front air shock. Simple. It's got a light on there. It's got a bottle holder. It's got a holder for my phone. I got a seat pad, and it's got, I put a right here in a backpack, a 20 watt hour 52 volt triangle battery unit pack power. I made a mistake when I got this bike. The triangle's not big enough to take the 20 hour or the 13 hour battery I have. Won't fit. So I'm gonna have to, if I ever want to change this out to the mid drive or keep that one and I want to put the battery here, I'm gonna have to fabricate a metal holder for a battery and turn it sideways and put it in. And those are the ones that aren't encased. They're made a little cheaper, but I think that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do for this bike, because this bike rides really good. So anyways, just wanted to show you guys. That's I don't think I've ever filmed this one before, so gonna spin it around the block. Buzzing down this hill. This thing makes no noise. The noise you hear is the hub, the tires on the road. Gear up a little. Gear up all the way to the top gear. See, I'm ghost pedaling right now. Bend this thing down a little. The tires are kind of low. 31 miles an hour. $27.5. Like I was saying, this is a hub drive. It's different than the mid drive. I'm in my highest gear right now. Right there is my highest gear, more or less. And I'm not hardly pedaling at all, but we are going 10 miles an hour. I'm gonna gear it down to ones. So these things are more like cruisers. But I will try to get it on the bigger chain. There you go. So I'm all the way to the front cog, the front one. I'm on my biggest wheel and my second smallest in the back, and we're going 16 miles an hour and I'm ghost pedaling. I'm not even keeping up with it. Now I'm pedaling, using some force, but it's like This thing's great for street cruising or stuff like that. How are you? So right here's the speedometer right there. So I'm going to pull this incline and I'm not even really pedaling. And the battery says it's 100%, but I don't believe it. And my front wheel has low pressure in it, and so does my rear. I'm going up this incline right here, 20 miles an hour. I'm not even pedaling. 22. Come off the throttle a little. Yeah, I like this bike. I like this bike. I like them all. I like the one with the mid-drive, the Sidewinder. I like this Mongoose XR Pro, and I like the aluminum all comp. But the only thing I kind of don't like about this XR Pro is it's a 29-inch wheel, and I'm used to riding 26 because that's what we had as kids. That's what I'm used to. This bike, it just feels plusher and smoother as far as the ride goes. When you run over stuff like roots and rocks, it just feels it's a better ride. I don't know if it's because of the geometry of the bike, or if it's got the center shock of it, and the center air shock on it. Don't know. Look down this road here real quick. Yeah, the battery's sagging on me, I can tell. Normally it zips down here about 32 miles an hour, 30, 32. It's only getting up to 28.8 now. This is a very busy road, believe it or not. They fly down this thing. Sometimes, I guarantee you they're going 70, 80 miles an hour. But anyways, made it. Everyone's home from work. So, I don't know if the wind is really whipping through the camera either. I have no clue. So. There's no noise on this thing. What you hear is the tires, the knobby tires running across the road. I'm gonna jump up on this curve here. How you doing? Yep, no problem. Have a good day. Jumped off the curve. That guy had a dog. See, XR Pro just ate that curve up. Nothing to it. That's a 120 millimeter fork on the front. Here comes some people on bikes. The other day I saw 4 turkey cross the road right here. They were all gobblers. You're good. You're fine. You're okay. I'm going left. Little girl got scared. Not quite sure what to do yet. She's still learning to drive, you know. There's a rabbit or squirrel right there to my right. Missed him. But the geese are always down here, and turkey pop up. Like right now I'm pedaling, but I'm also using a little bit of the throttle. It just trickles. I get this thing set up to where it's got a selector switch on there that'll make it street legal, supposedly, depending on the state you live in. And like right now you can have it set on the max, or I got a switch right here that I wired up. You flip it, it only gives you 750 watts. Or you can, when you flip it the other way, it gives you the full power. So this is a full power right now. Watch it. You can't tell this hill, but it buzzes right up this thing. It certainly is.
Oh, okay,
Well, let me turn this thing off. A guy flagged me down talking about electric bikes, and I answered some questions for him. He seemed interested in them. I figure the more people that ride them, the better. Just switch it down to 750 watts, less power. Let's see what it'll give you. Miles per hour. Does about 12 to 15. You're doing 17.2, 16.5, and we're going up an incline. And that's on 750 watts. But when you switch it over to the 750 watts, you can keep up pedaling with it. If you hold back a little on it, like 10 miles an hour, 14 miles an hour, and you get a pretty good workout. Not as good as the mid-drive, of course, and but it increases your distance. And with this battery, the 20 amp hour 52 volt, I think it outputs like 12 or 1400 watts or amps, one of the two. It puts out a lot of juice. So it just rides so much better. But if I were to put the mid-drive on here, I'd buy another one. Then I'd have to build the form, the metal form, the holder for the battery. But I kind of wish I would have done a little bit more research and gotten the bike. That's important. Get a bike that has a triangle where the battery will fit. I'm going to zip across this road. Where the battery will fit. That way you don't have to try to get special batteries or make your own. That type of thing. I'm just going to zip down this. Yeah, so this 750 watts right here. I flipped the battery back and we're going about 14 miles an hour. Just taking it easy in the evening. We've already got 3.45 miles, it looks like, and I've already ridden today on the mid-drive about 6, and I can't feel it nowhere near like you feel it getting the workout on the mid-drive. There's somebody else up here. But yeah, you just throttle it back to 750. You have a switch, wired up a switch. Doesn't give the controller won't give it more than 750. The lady doesn't even know I'm here. We scare a lot of people. I don't have a bell on any of my bikes. Thank you. Have a good day. So, she didn't have in headsets. Most of them around here put in a head. There's more of those berries. Those blueberry, raspberries all over the place. And this has just got a twist throttle on it. As you can see, no controller up here. This is a basic package. I've seen them as low as like 280, but this one costs $350. I bought it during the height of COVID and started. This was my second bike. The first was a hyper bike from Walmart, and then this thing was the second one. And then I got the third one, which was another hub drive, 1,000 watts. And I sold the first one, which was only 250 watt hub drive. Yeah, this thing, the hub is like I said, 1,500 amps or watts. Get the two confused. And it's a good match with this battery. The battery can put out a little bit more than what the hub is supposed to take. But I know the 1,000 watt goes above, the 1,000 watt rear hub I have goes above 12, 15 routine, 12, 1,400. I think it hit a 15 a couple times. And it's only three or 4 miles an hour slower, but it does not have the torque this thing has. And this doesn't have near the torque as the mid-drive. And I don't do too much street riding anymore, to tell you the truth. But this is a nice casual type of very easy going ride. I like this bike too. It's got a much wider handlebar on it, and like I said, it just feels really good. And I'm not wearing my back brace tonight, which I normally wear a back brace when I ride any bike. I rushed out. I didn't want to get too late on me. The light on this thing right here, I don't think it's charged up. I don't like driving too much at night without a light. The squeaking you hear there is actually the seat. Hey guy, how you doing? He's got an electric little bicycle or cart or whatever that thing was. Yeah, I'm pedaling now. And like I said, I basically, depending on the condition, the terrain you want to go, you basically, this is a twist throttle, right there. I think you can see it to the right. This little red switch kills it, then it turns it back on. And it's got a readout here, but I put black tape over it because when I do ride at night, it's way too bright and there's no way to turn that thing down. And it doesn't really tell you anything either. It's a useless display. It's more or less a gimmick. I haven't found a use for it yet. It's going to be interesting to see how much wind noise this camera picks up. Hopefully not too much. It's been a long time since I've ridden over here. I think there's a, yeah, there it is. There's the trail. I'm gonna gear this thing down a little. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've ridden this one. Feels good to get it back out. Yeah, like I said, if I had to do it over again, I would, the XR Pro, it's a nice bike. A lot of people really like them. And they are good. They ride great, I think. To me, good enough. I'm not looking to dump, you know, thousands of dollars. I got this on, this thing, I think it was Marketplace for 150 bucks. And I looked it up for kicks the other day at Walmart. They're for $500 bikes. Real close with tax, over 500. And now they're out of stock. But it's been a pretty good bike. I've put a lot of miles on it. It just is not. This is quicker, much quicker and easier to ride than the mid-drive. Dog's doing his job. I have to tighten the crank up on this bike. The crank arm between, it's getting a little loose. I remember now when last time I rode it, I need to tighten that up. I still need to tighten it up. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this bike just rides. I like it. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about it is 29-inch wheels, a little too tall for me. I prefer the 26 or 27.5.